Hello and welcome to the answers for the calculator paper from November 2013. Question 1 is about significant figures. Make sure you round them correctly to one significant figure. So it's 300 on top. Remember, keep the value the same with the placeholders. It's 30 and 10 on the bottom. To work that out, you do 300 divided by 40 on your calculator or mentally, and it's 7.5 or 7.5. By carefully putting it into your calculator, you should get the answer 7.52997619. And then to do it to 3 decimal places, there's 1, 2, 3. Look at the next digit, and it's 5 or more, so you round up. So that 9 becomes 10, and it becomes 7.530. And you do need to put the 0 on, because it's the 3rd decimal place. Square root of 2 divided by 5. Be careful how you put that into the calculator. The square root is only on over the 2, not the whole fraction. And you get 0.2828 and so on. 2 significant figures. The 0 is not significant, so you've got 1, 2 significant figures. Look at that, it's less than 5. Your answer is 0.28. And then the final one, 7 pi. 7 times pi is 21.99114. 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3. Look at that, and you round it up. So it becomes 22.0. And you do need to put the 0 because it is your 3rd significant figure. Question 2 is about sequences. Looking at the difference, it goes up 1, up 3, up 5, up 7. So we're going to go up 9 next time, 27, and then it's going to go up by 11, so it'll be 38 for that one. Multiply by 3, then subtract 2. So it starts with 2, times by 3, take away 2 is 4, times 3, take away 2 is 10, times 3, take away 2 is 28. So 10 and 28 are the 2 numbers you need. For the final one, you're told that the 3rd number in the sequence is 20, so you need to work backwards to work out the other 2. So if you times by 3 and then take away 4, you get 56, and then times by 3, take away 4, and you get 164. So the sequence starts with 164, and you can always check that by doing add 4 divided by 3, add 4 divided by 3, and you should get 20. Okay, question 3 is about percentages, increase and decrease. If you get 3% interest, so 3% of 750, you can put it over 1. Do that in your calculator, it would be £22.50. Don't forget it's money, so you've got to put in the 0 there. If you get 4%, so you do 4% of 750, which gives you £30. The question is all about the difference between them. So 30 take away 22.50 means there's a difference of £7.50 between the 2 interest rates. Then Mrs. Carpenter gets £10 interest. So this is a write as a percentage question. So the percentage is 10 out of 400, and then times by 100 to get it. Mr. Kerr, you're interrupting my video. I'm doing the answers to the holiday, right?
I'm sorry, my apologies, I'm returning your... I couldn't work out what you were talking to.
I was just talking to myself again. Part 3 is receives £10 interest, so you need to work out the percentage, which is 10 out of 400 times by 100 to make it into a percentage. Then work that out, and it's 2.5 or 2.5%. Question 4 is a question on ratios, so make sure you write out the ratio each time. RST, 5, 3 and 4. You're told that Robert receives 20, which means your multiplier is 4, so that would be 16 for Tim. So this is a sharing question, so we'll need a total column. So it's 5 to 3 to 4, and the total, adding up the parts of the ratio, is 12. The total needs to be 60, so the multiplier is 5, which means that Stefan gets 15 conkers by using the total for the multiplier there. The final one is a difference question, so you work out the difference between them, and the difference between Robert and Stefan at the moment is 2. We need the difference to be 6, so the multiplier is 3. So if you times all of these by 3, you get 15, 9 and 4 and 12, which means that in total, by adding up those, you'd get 36 conkers in total. Question 5 is on speed, distance and time. So make sure you do your SDT triangle, making sure you get it the right way round. First question is a distance question, which is speed times time. The speed is 35, the time is 2 hours 30 minutes, which is 2.5 hours. So you can use 2.5 using the shift fraction button on your calculator, or do 2.5, and that works out as being 87.5 kilometres. Part 2 is time, which is distance divided by speed. So you do 175 divided by 75, which gives you 2 1/3. 2.3 recurring, which is 2 hours, and then a third of 60 is 20. So it'll be 2 hours and 20 minutes for that. In part 3, you've got 6 meters per second, times it by 60, and that will give you meters per minute, so 60 seconds in every minute. Times it by 60 again, and that gives you meters per hour. Meters per hour, we need to divide it by 1,000, which gets us into kilometers per hour. So if you work that out with your calculator, you get 21.6 kilometers per hour, which is quite a quick runner, but it looks like they're sprinting, so that's okay. Question 6 is on simplifying algebra. So you've got 5a and 2a, which makes 7a, 3b minus 7b, think number line here, which is minus 4b, so you've got 7a minus 4b. Part 2, you multiply the coefficients to give you 6, and you add the indices. Don't forget there's c to the power of 1 there, so you get 6c to the power of 5. In this bit, cube it, so write it out 3 times, and then take away the 2d cubed. Now 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, d times d times d is d to the power of 3. Take away 2d cubed, 8d cubed, take away 2d cubed is 6 lots of d cubed, 6d cubed. And in the final part, you can add these on top because they're like terms. So you get 14e over 4, that's 1 mark, but then you can divide top and bottom by 2, and you get 7e over 2, or I guess they might accept 3.5e. Okay, question 7 is more brackets. Multiply the brackets carefully and you get 8 minus 12x. For this second one, remember it's minus 4 in front of the brackets, so circle it, and then if you write it out, you've got 10 minus 8, but then negative times negative makes a plus. An enemy of an enemy is a friend. So you've got 10 minus 8, which is 2, plus 12x. Part B, factorise is bracketise. So you put it in brackets. The largest number that goes into both is 8. They're both in the 8 times table, which means you're left with 3x minus 4. 8 brackets 3x minus 4. In the final part, the rectangle is an area of 24x minus 32. And the area of the rectangle is height times width. So that's 4 times something. So if you think about factorising this using 4, you would be left with 6x minus 8. So the width of your rectangle is 6x minus 8. There's a bit of factorising there. Question 8 is about using a conversion of units. Just take note, it says there 3 significant figures, which is standard for a calculator paper anyway, but just be careful what they ask you to round it to. 190 miles times by 1.609 means it's 305.71. Round is 3 significant figures, 306. 38 litres divided by 4.546 is 8.358, and so on. 3 significant figures is 8.36 gallons. Michael drives 140 kilometres in 2 hours, so he'll do 280 kilometres in 4 hours. 280 kilometres divided by 1.609 gives you 174.0211, and so on. 3 significant figures, 174 miles. And in the final part, 34 miles per gallon, when if we divide it by 4.546, gives you 7.479102.508 miles per litre. And then if you take that number and times it by 1.609, you get 12.033875 and so on, to 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 12.0, and you do need the 0 because it is your 3rd significant figure. Question 9 is about transformations. The equation of this line, y doesn't fly and it goes through minus 1, so the equation is y equals minus 1. To reflect p in this line, go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there it is, or you can use tracing paper that's labelled shape Q. Translate 8 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 up, 1, 2, 3. So there, 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 there. You might like to check with another point, and certainly use a ruler. So check with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. So that's fine. Rotate shape P 180 degrees about 0,4. There's 0,4. So if you use your tracing paper and turn it around a full turn, you can use the arrow and when the arrow points down, you know you've got 180 degrees, but it should end up being this, like so, and that is shape S. And then in part 4, you enlarge it, scale factor 2, centre of enlargement -5, 2, so there's your centre of enlargement. So everything becomes 2 times longer. So that goes out to there, that comes out to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that goes there. So enlargement is 2 times bigger. Let's label that T. Part 5, the area of P is 4 centimetres squared. So to work out the area of T, it is become 2 squared times bigger, which means it's an area of 16 centimetres squared. Because it's scale factor squared, that gives you the area scale factor. And the rotational symmetry of this, you could use tracing paper and turn it round so many times it looks the same. It would have a rotational symmetry order 2. Okay, question 10 is on regular polygons. You might like to just note down a couple of bits and pieces like this, just to remind you. Calculate the size of angle W. Well, there we go, they're on a straight line, so that is 45. That then is your exterior angle. And the exterior angles always add up to 360. So you can divide it by 45, which means that there are 8 of them. So it is an 8-sided shape, which is an octagon. So X, Y and Z. Notice here that X is in an isosceles triangle. Triangles add up to 180. So we do 180, take away 135, which leaves you a 45, and that's shared between X and this angle. So X is 22.5. Y is on a Z angle with an exterior angle. So Y would be 45 there. And to work out Z, well, that's 45, and that's 60 because it's an exterior angle of the regular hexagon. So add them together, 60 add 45 means it's 105 degrees. Okay, question 11 is on circles and using pi. Circumference is 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times 4, which gives you 25.1327. Now remember, in calculator papers, you always do it to 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. 25.1. For part B, area of a circle is pi r squared. So it's pi times 16, which gives you 50.26548 and so on. 3 significant figures, 50.3 there. So we've got a black square, length 12, and circle has radius 4. The total perimeter of the black section, so round the edge, you've got 4 lots of 12, and then you're going to add the perimeter for the circle, which we worked out here, 25.1. Add them together, 73.1. Pattern is made from 9 tiles of this design. Each tile is either black or white. The total area of the pattern, which is white. Now, if you think you can take the white square and put white circle and put it in here, so that one goes in there, 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 and that's made 4 squares, 4 white squares. But then you've got this extra circle here, and we've already worked out the area of one of those, so we just need to add that on. which means we've got 576 plus 50.3, which means we've got 626.3. Don't forget, 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 626 square centimetres. Remember to show you're working for 3 marks. Okay, 12 is on forming and solving equations. 1 CD is 4, so 4 of them would be 4C. Download is £2 less, so C take away 2. And then the cost of 3 of them would be 3 lots of C minus 2. Don't forget to put it in brackets because the whole thing is times by 3. If you multiply the brackets, you get 3C minus 6. Which buys 4 CDs and 3 downloads. So 4 CDs is 4C, 3 downloads is that, and the total altogether is 50. So here is our equation which we can solve. Collect like terms, 7C minus 6 is 50. Add 6 to both sides. 7C is 56. Divide by 7, and C equals 8. £8, which is reasonable for a CD. Now, Katie's card is £50 credit. She used the card to pay for 2 CDs, so that's £16, and 4 downloads, which is £24. So in total, she will spend this £40. So how much she got left on her £50 card? She's got £10 left. Question 13 is all about bearings. Bradley is standing at T. T's here, not up the top of the arrow. T is here. You can see a castle 1.5 kilometres away on a bearing of 130. So 4 centimetres is 1 kilometre. So 1.5 kilometres is 6 centimetres. The bearing of 130, if you go from north, it's down here somewhere. And draw a line 6 centimetres long. It gets down to about there. Label it C, draw a north line at C. If you want to be really accurate with your north line, which you should do really, the angle there is 50. A windmill is 2.5 kilometres northeast of the castle. So times by 4, that means it's 10 centimetres away. Northeast means you have to measure a 45-degree angle. And it goes all the way up here somewhere, so that's 10 centimetres long, and that's W. Bradley cycles straight to the castle and then from there to the windmill. What is the bearing of the tower from the windmill? So we're going to have to draw a north line there, and the bearing is all the way around there, so it is 360, take away this one, and this angle here is 105. So this angle is 360, take away 105, which is 255. There we go. And Bradley now cycles straight back to the tower. Total distance he's travelled, well, that measures out to be 12 centimetres. So in total he's done 28 centimetres. But how far is that in kilometres? If you divide it by 4, you'll get 7 kilometres that he's travelled. Question 14 is on patterns and sequences. Fill in the table very carefully. Do not make any mistakes with this. It's a couple of the easier marks on the paper. Worth bearing in mind, if it was timed and you didn't manage to get onto this question, you're missing out on a few easy marks because you're not having a go. So make sure that in an exam you do have a look at the last question and make sure you get the marks for it. Pattern 7, you could spot these as square numbers, so it would be 49, or you can continue the sequence on. Similarly with these ones, you can notice that it's times 4 each time. or you can carry on the table. If it's got 52 triangles, remember the triangles was pattern number times 4. So 52 divided by 4 is 13. So it's pattern 13, and 13 squared is 169, which we should definitely all know. So the difference between triangles and lines and triangles would be 117.